Threadfin butterfly fish. Fire goby. A colorful member of the goby family with a long dorsal fin and a flaming red tail. It stays away from the water's surface, preferring to hover over the seafloor. This species usually lives alone or in pairs and has a lifespan of around 5 years. Despite the sharp look in its eyes, it has a mild personality. Yellow goosefish. This fish is flat and extremely thin with protuberances on its large head. Its mouth is full of large, sharp teeth that fold inward. The protuberances on its head are actually formed by spines from its dorsal fin. It camouflages itself by hiding under sand and mud, then jumping out and capturing prey that swims by. Cherry trout, ocean. In Japan, this fish has 2 different names based on whether or not it migrates to the open ocean after spawning in inland rivers. This variant, which returns from the ocean to rivers during its breeding season, has been called the sakura masu thanks to cherry blossom season coinciding with when it can be caught. Bottlenose dolphin. This dolphin is kept in aquariums all over the world and is representative of the dolphin family. It can sometimes be found in large pods of up to several hundred. A curious animal that can be found playing in the waves made by ships and whales, it will usually welcome humans approaching it. Spot-fin porcupine fish. A fish living in the shallow areas of coral and rocky reefs. It has spines all over its body, but these are shorter and fewer in number than those of the mammal it's named for. When it is startled or senses danger, it quickly swells up its body into a spiky ball. Thanatos. This enormous great white shark is feared throughout the Aegean Sea, where it is seen as the embodiment of evil and violence. It actively attacks people and boats, tallying numerous brutal incidents. Its many scars are proof of the countless battles it has fought, and it has cunningly evaded all human attempts to ensnare it. This creature is a monster born of years of ferocious fighting that can be seen all over the world, but only rarely. Yellowtail. Multicolor fin rainbow fish, female. Most of this species are born as females, who are a plain, brown color and about 20 centimeters in length. However, the largest and strongest females of the shoal can actually change sex to become male. Then the males form up into harems with the females. Japanese lates. This fish's eyes glow red when light is shined on them in the dark. It is related to the Nile perch and barramundi. The barramundi has eyes that glow gold under light. The Japanese lates is an ocean fish, but it has been known to enter brackish and freshwater areas sometimes. Long-spine porcupine fish. A spiny fish living in coral and rocky reefs. Like a pufferfish, it can swell up its body, giving it the appearance of a chestnut burr. It has about 300 to 400 spines in total. In adulthood, it is often solitary and carnivorous, preying on crustaceans, mollusks, and benthic organisms. Japanese flying fish. Easily recognized by the long, wing-like pectoral fins that it uses to escape large predators, this fish makes its getaway above the waves instead of underwater. It bursts out of the sea and spreads its wings, gliding over the surface of the water as if flying. Red stingray. Its large, diamond-shaped body ends in a long tail with a venomous stinger. The stinger is hard and serrated and has high penetrative power. Not only is it difficult to remove, it also leaves the edges of the wound badly torn. Its skin is the same dark brown as many other species, but the underside has a distinct orange edge. Yellowfin goby. A typical goby with a cylindrical body and a pale abdomen. Its ventral fins are attached together, forming a sucker-like shape. It tends to live on the seafloor, eating shellfish, polychaetes, and juvenile fish, but may be found in rivers. Both the male and the female die after spawning. Pacific halibut. This giant fish, one of the largest of its order, can measure over 2.5 meters in length and has an incredibly long life cycle. It is a carnivorous species and usually feeds in the mid-oceanic zone, though it may move to deeper waters in spawning season. A female of the species can grow to as much as 3 times the size of her male counterpart. Snailfish. This flabby, gelatinous pink fish inhabits reefs in the deep sea and sticks to rocks using the suction pad created by its left and right ventral fins. Its whole body is scaleless, and both its bones and muscles are soft. Glasshead grenadier. This member of the Macroridae family prefers the deep sea floor. It has a long, thin, thread-like tail and a small, short barbel along with thin scales. It is a benthic creature and preys on tiny crustaceans and shellfish. It is seemingly preyed upon by a variety of medium-sized and large fish, and is an important part of the deep sea ecosystem. Japanese spider crab. This is the largest crustacean in the world, with a carapace measuring approximately 40 centimeters. It has 10 long, spindly legs with claws at the end of one pair, which grow especially large and long for males. Old records state that the biggest ever specimen was just under 6 meters. North Pacific right whale. It has an arched lower jaw opening into an enormous mouth, and bumps on its head that can be used to identify individuals. It uses the bristles in its mouth, called baleen, to filter microorganisms out of the water and eat them. Because it takes a year for the female to gestate a new calf, this whale is quite rare, and efforts are being undertaken to protect the species. Greater amberjack. A large, carnivorous fish that makes its home in warm waters all across the world. When it is young, it has a brown banded pattern across its body, but this fades as it matures. A quirk of the species is that when any member of the school stops moving, the others will halt as well. Shortfin mako shark. This shark has a blue back, white underbelly, and hails from the open ocean. It is large, reaching up to 4 meters, and carnivorous. It is also among the fastest of all sharks. At a glance, it resembles the great white shark, but its teeth are long, slender, and fang-shaped, as opposed to the great white's serrated, saw-like teeth. Marine betta. Covered with white dots, this fish looks like a field of shooting stars. The complex pattern makes it difficult to tell where its fins and eyes are. Its dorsal fin has a patch on it that looks like an eye, making it look almost like a turkey moray's head. It hides in cracks in corals and rocks. Great white shark, leucistic. This variant is pure white, unlike other great white species which tend to be gray and white. This is called leucism, and is a condition in which body hair, feathers, skin, etc. turn white due to a decrease in pigment. Several specimens of pure white, great white sharks have been discovered in recent years, and it's likely that this species has undergone a similar mutation. White-spotted conger. This fish lives in muddy areas of shallow seas, though it will sometimes move to deeper waters. It is distinguishable from other eels by its brown color with white spots. It has a larval form called a leptocephalus. During this juvenile period, it is actually transparent. Amberstripe scad. A schooling carnivore found at various depths, from the surface to deeper down in the ocean. A thick stripe of gold runs down the center of its body. Like the Pacific bluefin tuna, it has finlets near its tail that perfect the vortex around its body to decrease water resistance. Shortbill spearfish. Most species of marlin have a long snout, but that is not the case for this fish. Likewise, it lacks the raised head that other marlins have. It has a slender body with a wide, long dorsal fin, and it can grow to approximately 2 meters in length. It mainly feeds on small fish and squid in the open ocean. Elegant firefish. This fish's bright coloring, with white in front and purple in back, resembles that of the sky at dawn. It has a long dorsal fin and a pattern on its head that makes it look perpetually angry. It is found deeper in the water than other gobies and usually pairs up into male-female couples. Blackjack. A medium-sized horse mackerel with a dark body color edged with white. The anal and second dorsal fins extend into sharp sickle shapes. Adults of the species tend to live independently or group up into small shoals. Clown triggerfish. This fish is easily identified by its white polka dot underbelly and orange puckered up mouth. A young fish has polka dots over its entire body and is a popular aquarium fish. However, it needs to be handled with care, as it has a short temper and tendency to bite with its sharp teeth. Black-spotted puffer. This round fish's face looks a bit like a dog's from the front. It can be gray or yellow but is always covered in black spots. When startled, it draws water into its stomach, inflating itself and making the countless tiny spines on its body stand up. Although it usually swims at a leisurely pace, it is capable of short bursts of speed when it feels threatened. Chub mackerel. This fish can be identified by its blue back and rippled pattern. It inhabits temperate and subtropical climates and migrates seasonally in large schools. It preys on small animals like fish and is in turn preyed upon by larger ones. Commerson's dolphin. One of the smallest cetaceans, reaching only about 150 centimeters in size. Because of its distinct black and white coloring, it is sometimes called the panda dolphin. The sex can be determined by the black spot on its abdomen. The male's will be in a teardrop shape, whereas the female's is more oblong. Sunset antheas. This fish has a halo of violet on its head. The male is often pink or purple, whereas the female will wear a more subdued yellow. Since it lives in deep-sea coral reefs, it has rarely been observed, but it is known to swim together with closely related species. It only grows to about 8 centimeters long. Transmission from HQ, unusual biometric signs have been detected at this dive site. A UML may be nearby. To locate it, we'll need to collect data from other anomalous creatures in the area. Your target's approximate locations will appear on the map as orange circles. When you're close to one, your scanner will also flash orange. Please try to find all the target creatures. Humpback whale, young. A female humpback whale will typically only have one baby per year. The fetus grows in its abdomen at a rate of about 25 centimeters per month. By the time the baby is born, it is around 4.5 meters long. The newborn humpback whale is at risk of predation by orcas. Green sea turtle. It has a carapace made up of a central line of 5 hardened scales with 4 more on either side, and its legs are shaped like fins with the forward pair longer than the rear. Unlike land-based turtles, it is unable to draw its head and limbs into its shell. Ribbon eel, yellow. When this unusual example of the species is young, it resembles a typical ribbon eel. However, as it matures, its coloration suddenly changes. The parts typically blue are yellow, and vice versa. Like the original species, it rarely closes its mouth, giving it the same somewhat adorable appearance. Kidako moray. This carnivorous fish has a long, slender body and a large mouth full of sharp teeth. It lives in crevices in coral and other reefs, and it will attack if it is approached carelessly. However, when it expels parasites or leftover food, it opens its mouth and allows tiny prawns to clean it. It waits patiently with its mouth open for the cleaning to finish. It's rather sweet. Japanese spiny lobster. This large lobster inhabits shallow reefs. During the day, it hides in the darker areas of the reef, retreating to the depths when it senses danger. It is mostly carnivorous, but eats a wide variety of food, including seaweed. Newborns are only about 1.5 millimeters long and look like white spiders. Sablefish. This silver-bodied fish averages around a meter long and looks similar to the Pacific cod. It is related to the skillfish, though it has a slightly slender body. This fish prefers deep water environments and is a carnivorous feeder, preying on fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods like squid or octopuses. Narwhal. This species prefers to eat cod and is known for being good at deep-sea diving. It is easily recognized by its single long tusk. While it is most often the males that have a tusk, it is not unheard of for a female to have one. The tusk itself is a collection of nerves and, if a part is broken off, it will not grow back. Excelia. This small fish lived in shallow seas around the Paleogene period. Its total length was approximately 11 centimeters, and its overall body shape was similar to the mahi-mahi, a large, carnivorous fish. Its most distinctive features were its extremely long dorsal fin and sickle-like elongated pelvic fin. Its dorsal fin seems to have changed not only in size but also in shape as the animal developed. Southern bluefin tuna. A carnivorous tuna whose migratory paths stretch across the open waters of the southern hemisphere. It swims in schools and feeds on small fish, crustaceans, squid, and gelatinous-looking creatures called salps. Decades of overfishing have put the species at risk of extinction. McCosker's flasher wrasse. A member of the Parachelinus family with a long, thread-like filament poking out from its dorsal fin. Its body is bright red with lines running along the sides, and the delicate designs on its outstretched fins make it popular as an aquarium fish. Golden trevally. Easily recognized by its dazzling gold color, the adult is over a meter long, but the juvenile is tiny, making it easy prey for other fish. A young fish may protect itself by staying near larger creatures, such as sharks, that will likely find it too small to eat. But it's still not totally safe, as these larger fish may eat it after all. Great white shark. It feeds on large fish and marine mammals, and its sharp teeth with serrated edges can easily bite through the flesh of its prey. This is a dangerous animal that sometimes attacks humans, but it does not target them specifically. Any attacks are likely to be a case of mistaken identity. Royal angelfish. Powder blue tang. Whale shark, green. This rare whale shark has a bright green body and would have originally inhabited shallow waters. It's possible that its back changed to its present emerald green over the generations. It could be 150 years old, making it one of the oldest whale sharks in the world. White margin unicornfish. A fish with a distinctive horn-like protuberance on its head. Although this horn is not present on young fish, it develops gradually as the fish grows to adulthood. It lives in and around coral reefs and is omnivorous, feeding on both algae and plankton. Cacao Maharaja. The leatherback is the largest turtle, and this is the largest leatherback. The ship that first sighted and reported this giant was the Cacao Maharaja, and the turtle has somehow taken the same name. It prefers to eat jellyfish, and it is believed that it must consume a significant number of jellyfish to maintain its impressive size. Ornate rock lobster. This hard-shelled animal is the largest in its family. It has 10 legs and 2 pairs of antennae, one long and thin, stretching out in front to sense flavor and odor, and the other heavier and stretched out over its shell that it uses to explore its immediate environs. Its shell is blue-green with a pale yellow pattern on the back. Spanish hogfish. A fish of the Labridae family residing in shallow reefs. Though the species always has beautiful shades of yellow and purple on its body, the exact patterning differs from fish to fish. It eats small fish and crustaceans and can grow up to 40 centimeters long, with males larger than females. Speckled butterfly fish. Coral cod. This fish, a grouper of the Ceronidae family, looks quite charming with its red body and blue polka dots. It lives in coral reefs and rocky reefs, eating small fish, crustaceans, squid, and octopuses. Though highly territorial, it will allow small shrimp into its mouth to do some tidying up inside. Barramundi. This large, carnivorous fish lives mainly in freshwater. It preys on small fish and crustaceans. It has a pointed snout, tall body, and a large bulge near the back. As it is similar to the Japanese lace, it was once thought to be the same species. It is strongly territorial, and popular among anglers worldwide. Fox Yakapeaver. This fish has a rounded tail and a fine speckled pattern on its body. It does look similar to the banded yakapeaver, but its wider body and white, narrower tail edge set it apart. It prefers to live in reef areas, dining on crustaceans and small fish. Sockeye salmon. This red-bodied fish spends a few years living in freshwater before migrating to the open ocean, where it subsists on a diet of zooplankton and small fish. A sockeye salmon and a kokanee salmon are closely related, but while a sockeye salmon will spend most of its life in saltwater, a kokanee salmon prefers freshwater. Rainbow trout. The name for this fish comes from the rainbow color of a male's body during its breeding season. It undergoes a process unique to the Salmonidae family called smoltification, which allows it to migrate between rivers and the ocean, and thus move from freshwater to saltwater, or the other way around, without running into issues. Just like other salmonids, this fish has pale, oval-shaped patterns called parr marks in the juvenile stage of its life. Greenland shark. This large shark inhabits the depths of the Arctic Ocean. It can live deeper than 1,000 meters, so sightings are rare. It is long-lived, with one specimen radiocarbon dated at 392 years old, plus or minus 120 years. It is a voracious carnivore and has few natural predators in the deep sea. It compensates for its slow-moving speed by being an ambush hunter. Blue whale. The blue whale is known for its huge bluish-gray body. It is the largest mammal on Earth, with some over 30 meters long. The water it blows can reach as high as 10 meters, and the 60 or more ventral pleats in its throat open when it feeds. It travels widely, and its call contains low-frequency wavelengths that travel well in water and allow it to communicate with other whales up to 160 kilometers away. Spectacled porpoise. A rare porpoise inhabiting colder waters, it has a pattern around its eyes that looks like a pair of glasses. The male's dorsal fin is rounder and larger than the female's. It eats cephalopods, fish, and shrimp, and has a thick layer of fat that helps it regulate its body temperature at lower depths. Spectacled porpoise. A rare porpoise inhabiting colder waters, it has a pattern around its eyes that looks like a pair of glasses. The male's dorsal fin is rounder and larger than the female's. It eats cephalopods, fish, and shrimp, and has a thick layer of fat that helps it regulate its body temperature at lower depths. Spectacled porpoise. Southern bottlenose whale. This species has a rounded head with a thin snout, making it look like a bottle's neck. Several 100,000 are believed to live in the Antarctic Ocean. A closely related species, the northern bottlenose whale, lives in the northern hemisphere. Antarctic cod. Living at depths of a few dozen to over 1,000 meters, this fish has an amazing ability to survive in the ice-cold waters of the Antarctic Ocean. Its heart beats only once every 6 seconds, and this fish actually produces a special antifreeze glycoprotein to protect its body from freezing. Spectacled porpoise. A rare porpoise inhabiting colder waters, it has a pattern around its eyes that looks like a pair of glasses. Spectacled porpoise. capelin. This fish is covered in countless small scales. It forms large schools during breeding season and spawns along the coast. Many young die after hatching, and large numbers are washed up on shore. There are concerns that the species numbers are decreasing, and fishing for them is restricted in many places. Narwhal, blue. This narwhal has an extremely rare blue coloration. Although the species primarily consumes codfish, it has also been seen traversing the deep sea and feeding aggressively on squid. Whether this is the cause of this narwhal's unusual body color is unclear. Its tusk appears to be composed mainly of calcium. Beluga. This dolphin is completely white and has a melon, a rounded lump of fatty tissue, protruding from its forehead. The melon can change shape slightly. It has a thin protrusion on its back, but no real dorsal fin, and its scientific name means wingless white dolphin. It lives in groups of up to 1,000 or even more. Sclerorhynchus. This ray probably lived during the Cretaceous period and was similar to the modern sawfish. Like the sawfish, its eyes were located on the top of its head and its mouth was on the ventral side of its body. It had a long, saw-like snout, and likely captured its prey after striking it with this weapon to weaken it. Any teeth it lost from the saw would quickly grow back. Iniopteryx. This fish lived in the Carboniferous period. It had a unique appearance, with wings that grew from the back of its head. It grew to around 50 centimeters long. It may have hopped out of shallow water like a Japanese flying fish, but this is not certain. It may also have swum at the bottom of the deep ocean like the silver chimera, but the details of its ecology are still a mystery. Emperor. This coelacanth is unbelievably large. Who knows how many years it took to reach this impressive size? Looking at it makes you feel the weight of the ages and even a sense of timelessness. The feeling of solemnity leaves you in no doubt that this is the emperor of those living fossils, the mighty coelacanths. Crassigyrinus. This vertebrate predator lived in the Carboniferous period and sported a mouth that could open very wide. Its limbs were weak and small, and it probably couldn't move quickly on land, so it spent most of its time underwater. Its genus name suggests a thick tadpole that just grew limbs. Ammonoidea, white. This white-shelled version of an ammonite was quite rare. The shell itself had a partition, and the wavy patterns inside are called suture lines. These suture lines are beautiful and complex, similar to those of chrysanthemum leaves, which suggests that this was a member of a species that lived near the end of the Jurassic period. Bellatrix. This member of the coelacanth family is thought to have lived about 250 million years ago. Unlike its cousins, it had a symmetrical tail fin, divided in two, similar to a tuna or other fish that migrate at high speed over long distances. It is therefore thought this fish was a better swimmer than the coelacanth, going further and faster. Lepidodes. This fish lived from the Triassic to the Cretaceous period and was covered in thick enamel scales. It likely wasn't very flexible due to these scales. It lived in both freshwater and the sea, and had rounded teeth, suggesting it preyed on shellfish. Ammonoidea. This cephalopod flourished after the Devonian period and likely lived until the end of the Cretaceous. Its shell had a unique shape, similar to but different from a conch. There were numerous variations on the spiraling shape. It was preyed upon by many fish and was a valuable food source for a lot of species. Parapuzosea. This giant member of the Ammonididae order lived during the late Cretaceous period. Like most ammonoids, its shell was a flat spiral, though this one had a diameter of 2 meters, making it one of the largest Ammonididae species. It is believed that this creature propelled itself about by spitting water from a funnel, despite the weight of its massive shell. Chambered nautilus. This mollusk lives in fairly deep waters. This species has existed in roughly the same form for about 500 million years, so it is sometimes called a living fossil. Its outer shell looks like a parrot's beak, and it has about 90 tentacles, much more than its fellow cephalopods, the squid and octopus. The name nautilus means a sailor or ship. Cephalaspis. This demersal fish lived from the middle of the Silurian period to the end of the Devonian. It was jawless, with a head covered in a hard carapace, with some sort of integrated sensory organ. It probably swam near the bottom of the water, feeding on small creatures and organic sediment. It had a flat body, around 15 to 20 centimeters long. Cephalaspis. Chunarpetin. Evidence suggests that this amphibian lived in the Middle Jurassic period. It was similar to the modern Japanese giant salamander in many ways and is classified as part of the same family. It was not a large species, with a body only around 20 centimeters in length. Like many amphibians, its gills were set outside of its body. Analysis of its stomach contents indicate that it was an herbivore. Ichthyostega. This creature lived in the late Devonian period, coexisting with the Acanthostega. It is believed to have had a body measuring between 1 and 1.5 meters in length, and thanks to its well-developed ribs, it was able to leave the water and venture onto land without issue. Possibly carnivorous, this amphibian likely moved back and forth between land and water, though it was undoubtedly less dexterous on land than modern amphibians. Diplocaulus. This amphibian, with a body length somewhere between 60 and 90 centimeters, lived during the Permian period. Its head looked somewhat like a boomerang, although this feature was not present in juveniles of the species. It had upward-facing eyes and small, fine teeth, suggesting that this creature lived primarily a benthic life. Echinochimera. This small fish lived during the early Carboniferous period. It is also said to have been a hedgehog-like silver chimera, and had spines growing near its head and on its back. The horns on its head were probably venomous. The male was about twice as large as the female, and its diet was probably based around crustaceans and shellfish from the ocean floor. Echinochimera. Dipedium. This round fish likely lived from the late Triassic to the early Jurassic period and had a maximum length of around 90 centimeters. It had hard enamel scales that were square in shape, and teeth in two different shapes. These two types of strong teeth helped it prey on tough crustaceans, shellfish, mollusks, and invertebrates. Orthoceras. This potentially carnivorous creature was a cephalopod in the Orthoceratidae family. It possessed a straight shell and is believed to have lived from the middle of the Ordovician period to the middle of the Silurian period. It is not known how many tentacles it had, but it is believed to have used its long shell to manipulate its buoyancy. Colosuchus. This freshwater amphibian, recognizable by its distinctive, spade-shaped head, lived during the Cretaceous period. It was a massive 5 meters in length but only around 30 centimeters tall, giving it a generally flat body. Scientists believe it preyed on fish, crustaceans, and even small dinosaurs, likely using its large mouth to suck them in. Caliba. This fish is believed to have existed since the Devonian period, and to have remained largely physically the same from then until the modern era. It looks vaguely like a dinosaur. The many, pointed dorsal fins on its back reinforce this appearance, and could be considered a living fossil. Gravekeeper. This oversized giant isopod is the size of a baby. Living in the deepest parts of the ocean, feeding off dead whales or fish carcasses and generally cleaning up the seabed, his size makes him king of the scavengers. As he tends to the dead in the dark depths, he is aptly named. Giant isopod. This member of the pillbug family is one of the world's largest isopods. While it can swim at surprisingly high speeds, it is usually immobile on the seafloor. This creature possesses a compound eye structure that contains around 3,200 ommatidia and gives the impression that it is wearing sunglasses. It has been observed surviving without food for more than 5 years. It is unclear how it can do this and also maintain its impressive size. Camarasaurus. This large, ancient species is believed to have lived from the Middle Ordovician period to the Silurian period. Research suggests it could grow to around 10 meters in length, and it is thought to have used its suction cupless tentacles to ambush the trilobites, eurypterids, and nautiluses it preyed on. Okeanos' guardian. This large goblin shark was lurking around the ruins. It may be a descendant of a creature, referred to as the Ammit of Okeanos, bred by the ancients. The name Ammit is derived from a creature of Egyptian myth with the body of a lion and the head of a crocodile. It acts as a leader to the goblin sharks that surround it and has an aura of menace. Protostega. This huge turtle lived during the Cretaceous period and was the second largest turtle known, after the Archelon. Its shell wasn't very hard, but more like thick skin. This carapace was lightweight, and what it lacked in protection it made up for in allowing the animal to swim for long periods. Hybidus. It is believed that this shark lived until near the end of the Cretaceous period. The head of the male was adorned with approximately 4 horns, giving it a somewhat demonic appearance. It primarily preyed on fish, crustaceans, and shellfish, and its 2 kinds of teeth helped it maintain this diet. The teeth in the front of its mouth were sharp and were used to injure and kill fleshy prey, while the back row of teeth was flat, allowing this shark to grind down hard shells and bones. Heteroceras. This member of the Amanitida order lived in the early Cretaceous period of the Mesozoic era. It was a heteromorph ammonite because of its unusual shell, which spiraled out into a more unwound shape. There have been many ideas about how this species swam with this shell shape. Cephiderma. This carnivorous reptile lived during the Triassic period. At first glance, it looks like a turtle, but it was actually more closely related to plesiosaurs. It had 2 shells on its back, each of a different size, and its upper jaw was slightly protruded. Like rays and some other fish, it probably spent a lot of time hiding under the mud and sand of the seafloor. Cephiderma. Belemnite. This mollusk is believed to have lived in the Mesozoic era, from the Triassic period to the Cretaceous period. It looked very similar to modern squids, and though it lacked 2 long tentacles to grab prey, it is believed to have had the ability to squirt ink when it was in danger. Research suggests it was a valuable source of food for large ichthyosaurs and sharks of the time. Drepanaspis. This benthic fish lived during the Devonian period of the Paleozoic era. Its disc-shaped head was large compared to its body. Since it was jawless, it presumably swallowed the mud it scooped up in its mouth, looking for food. Its eyes were small, round, and widely set, and it swam like a stingray. Spathobatis. This ray lived during the Jurassic period and had a shape somewhere between a shark and a ray. Its flattened body resembled a ray of the Rhinobatidae family. Its long snout was probably useful for searching for food in sandy or muddy areas. Its flat teeth, good for crushing hard objects, suggest a shellfish-based diet. Clown anemone fish. This jewel of the sea is easily identified by its distinctive, bright orange and white pattern. A special covering on the surface of its body makes it resistant to sea anemone venom, creating a symbiotic relationship. When threatened by another fish, it hides among anemones for protection. Tomato clownfish. A dark-colored clownfish that prefers to live in warm waters. In youth, it has around 3 white stripes, but all but the one nearest to the head disappear over time. Females are larger than males, and like other clownfish, this species has a symbiotic relationship with sea anemones. Moorish idol. This black and white fish is easily recognized by its long, extended dorsal fin. Its Latin name, zonclas, means sickle and refers to the distinctive shape of its dorsal fin. It is very popular, but known to have a nervous disposition, which makes it challenging to keep as an aquarium fish. Yellow clownfish. This particular clownfish has a white stripe on its yellow body. Different clownfish species prefer different anemones, and this one mainly coexists with the sea bay and giant carpet varieties. One might find it resting inside a sea anemone like it's buried in a blanket. Red-spotted blenny. This fish lives in cracks in rock or coral and sticks its head out from its nest to survey its surroundings, moving its neck as if nodding agreeably. Its face and mannerisms make it popular with divers. The antennae-like protuberances above its eyes are referred to as cirri. Japanese whiting. A small, beautiful fish with a slender, white body. This fish lives in shallow, sandy waters and primarily eats polychaetes and crustaceans. It typically lives in schools near the seafloor and uses the sand to hide from danger. Thanks to the markings on its body, it can blend in with the sand. Kuruma shrimp. This shrimp is characterized by its gray or light brown body color and its dark brown stripes. It is commercially important in some regions, but as a result of trade it has become an invasive species in parts of the Mediterranean, harming local species by competing for the same food sources. Purple tang. This fish is purplish blue with a pattern of black speckles and lines, contrasting with the vivid yellow of its pectoral and tail fins. It's an active swimmer and is known for its strong temperament, which can make it aggressive toward members of its own species. It prefers shallow waters. Atlantic tarpon. This fish is not popular with commercial fishermen, but sports anglers seek it out thanks to the fight it puts up. Its silver body has remained largely the same since ancient times. During breeding season it may lay as many as 10 million eggs, but a significant portion of these are consumed by other marine life. Large-head hairtail. Its long, sleek, silver body resembles a sword. It has no scales and is covered in a silvery substance called guanine. This fish is notable for its curious way of swimming. It treads around in the water, its eyes pointed upward to look for prey. It lives in shoals on the seabed. All targets have been scanned and the mission is complete. Well done. Transmission from HQ. A very large source of strange biometric signs has been detected nearby. We are sending footage from the drone closest to the site. That ringing sound is concerning. We've observed strange biometric signs in the vicinity of the subject, so let's take a closer look. Confirmed. It's a huge ichthyosaur with a very distinct pattern, and there is no doubt it is the source of the ringing we detected. It appears that something resembling bubbles is being produced whenever the sound occurs. Please scan the creature and transmit any new data.